Hello, hello, chess aficionados. We are bringing to you today a fantastic game. Looks like Hikaru Nakamura has made it over the pound again. He was just there in Warsaw just a few weeks ago in to LA and now back again in Berlin. Unbelievable. It's the FIDE Grand Prix and he's playing against Esipenko. Look at this. It was a very interesting game. I wonder if you can spot the tactic there, how he has planned a very interesting idea. Let's see if you like this idea. So let's start with, why does it do this? It's C4, that's its own thing, this computer sometimes. Anyway, um, C4, E5, knight C3, knight F6, knight F3, knight to C6, and G3. Look at that. It opens up the diagonal here for the bishop. And we have just developing. This is pretty far ahead, right? One more and we're attacking this knight. But then also this knight is attacking this. So it's a very interesting kind of opening. Okay, now we are in the center there, attacking. According to this, black must prevent knight takes on d5. So then we have knight goes, we have the pawn go to d5. So it's taken. So you see this move, how it prepared this bishop, fianchetto. It's a fianchetto bishop. Once these move, which they most likely will, we have, and if with this bishop moves, then this is a very a weakness already there. Just waiting to be gobbled up if that's going to be the end game. But we'll see. Okay, the bishop now is attacking this pawn, this weak pawn, who's faster to the punch. Was Esipenko faster to the punch? We shall see how Hikaru responds, because this is a weak pawn. So he just castles, and this is no longer a weak pawn like it was just few minutes, seconds before, because now it's being protected by the rook. Very interesting. Okay, so now we have also a castling, but what does it help? Does this castling do two functions? Does it? Or just castling? Here there's two functions. It was castling and it was protecting this pawn from this bishop. Okay, this is an interesting queen move here. We are moving back with our knight. We are moving with this pawn, like a pawn push here. It's protected by this pawn. Okay, knight moves in to attack the queen. He says not so fast, I'm just going to take it. So it's taken. It's now at the same time affecting this knight on c3, this move. So Hikaru ignores it and does a counter attack on the bishop. So what's more important to you now? To save your bishop or to take the white knight? See, these are that type of questions. Look at this situation. He did not move out of the way, okay? He did a counter attack by attacking this bishop. So it's like, okay, I can now take this. I can either move this pawn. What will it help me with anything? This is where you have to start calculating. Or do I need to take this pawn or do I move back with my bishop or move out of the way? Or do I take this knight? This is where calculation has to come in. And this is where you do not want to be playing fast chess, rapids and stuff, because where you're just basically instinct, you're just reacting, unless you're super high up there and you have your tactics in your head, just like playing the piano. In the beginning, you have to learn your notes, you're going slower. Once you memorize where the notes are, you don't even think where they are. So sometimes you don't even think as far as where the tactics are. You just know them, okay? Until you reach that point, it's better for you to play longer games where you actually have to think things through, okay? Because this is what it's about, thinking and nerves of steel. So what is going to happen now? He decides that it's more important to keep his bishop, so he steps back. Okay, so Hikaru's like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to go keep attacking your bishop. So look at it's kind of like, it's like focusing on some topic here. And he's now focused on this bishop. So now he lets it go because the bishop is protected. Okay, here. So he decides instead to avoid this threat and create another threat here, this rook. Okay, this is a weak pawn. Who's protecting this pawn? Anybody protecting this pawn here? No. So what will white do? It will take. It took that bishop. Okay. So it went after the bishop and took the bishop. At the same time, it is technically forking this, but it can be easily eradicated here by one of the pawns. And that's what happens. Opening up the rook instead of here, because what good would it do? It just would open maybe the queen a little bit. Would that be sufficient? See, this is where you have to stop and think. Stop and think and do your calculations. Okay, so now we are facing here almost a semi-open line. Okay, what's next? Ooh, we continue on the attack. This solitary pawn, but it is still protected by the queen here. And it's attacking. It can be taken. This might be an open line soon. We shall see. Very interesting here. Okay, so he doesn't take, he just moves and attacks the queen. So the queen obviously will have to move. And it does. So it moves up one. Okay, so now, Esipenko, do you see a tit for tat here? Do you see it's kind of like a breather? You're down below the ocean and you're out of breath and you go up, take a breath, and then the attack continues. So this is like we had a breather here for a little bit, for a couple moves, it seemed like, but now we're back to attacking. This knight is attacking the queen. Let's see Hikaru's response. Okay, so he just attacks back, sort of, here. Okay, attacking, kind of aligning slowly. So he just moves out of the way here. All right, so he's piling up the bishop, so kind of wanting to surround the area of the king. Wow, what an interesting move. It's kind of like also, but long range. He's like a sniper. Hikaru's like a sniper from long range here type of situation. Okay, this queen is looking at this king, and also this bishop is looking, the diagonals, almost like a bishop, like these, consider these like two bishops. It's always more than a bishop, but think about what would two bishops be able to do. Okay, so now the queen moves down, protecting this bishop, or helping to protect this bishop and also this pawn. I don't see any other attacking measures. It kind of covers quite a bit right here, right here, right here. Okay, and still on this line. Okay, so Hikaru just takes that bishop. No, excuse me, takes that knight. The menacing knight is out, and we are now. He has taken this bishop for bishop, and look at this. Okay, there's the bishop here. It's staring. Interesting, but it's being protected. Okay. We'll continue on the attack. This bishop's attacked. It moves away. So now he doubles up on the attack. Remember how many attackers and defenders are? Is this bishop? He's going after this bishop, it seems. Okay, so here, interesting kind of move. More protection. Okay. So I'm preparing for some sort of attack here. And let's see. So he moves out, exposing his king like this. Okay. So he's now moving both. Interesting move here. Okay, kind of diagonal. I mean, horizontal type of activity here. Well, this is more vertical. He's going horizontal. He's doubling up. The black is doubling up on this d file. Okay, he's now moved over. doubling up here. Okay, the queen is targeting here, even though it's protected by this queen, and also targeting here, although it's protected. So we continue on the attack, menacing this bishop again. Bishop takes. The rook has to move out of the way if it wants not to be taken, because it wasn't being protected. So it's now head to head here. Queen gets out of the way. Takes. Takes. Okay, now what? We got this going on. The attack here is pretty strong here on Hikaru. Do you see the tactic? There's a tactic coming. Okay, now what do? Do you hide with the king over here? Because this is danger stranger. There's penetration at any moment here. This is kind of like a 1-2 punch in boxing. Okay, which one will be the knockout blow? The knockout blow is coming. Okay, here it is. The rook check. Okay, now we are trying to confront this check. Now the bishop. No, notice this bishop. What's it doing? No choice except to take, which now opens up. Very exposed king. Very exposed king. Look where the action is here. Okay, see? The action here is by the white pieces, like the noose is being strangled. The strangulation, the python is moving in. Okay, check. Out of the way. Check. Take. Another check. And look at this, a freebie. What do we got going? See this? This is very interesting. This is a clincher here. Here, this is a free bishop here. Not protected at all. So he's offering exchange of queens, but nanai, I'm taking this bishop. Okay, so he took this pawn. Now could go to the back rank, but with what support? The black has no support unless he can move some of these pawns to get to be promoted, but they're kind of far away. Look at this nice structure here of protection. Quite protected here. And look how exposed the black king is. Let's see, so we're now eating up, gobbling up this pawn. Less of a chance of getting promoted by black now. So he's trying this way. So now again, he's going after this queen. Is the queen protected? No. Has to move out of the way. So he repositions the knight just in case somebody wants to come here, he can take. Okay, another reposition, I mean the position of the knight, the repositioning of the king. Another repositioning of the king here. Woof! Another check. Okay, you should put this in your engine and start to see what kind of endgame you would have. Okay, the king moves out of the way. Now it's gonna gobble up these pawns. Do you see? So he's trying to protect that pawn. So now he's going after this pawn. It's kind of losing situation here for black at this point. Okay. So he's now a little dance here about protecting pawns, and then so he's okay. Well, I'm just gonna start moving this pawn up and these pawns up to see which one of them will be promoted. Okay. See, you kind of equalize things together. You gotta really be very direct here and precise. No errors as far as pawn endings like this. Very precise about which one are you going to move, this one or this one first, in order to have the kind of ending, and taking into account what the queens can do. So there's a lot of calculation here. Okay. So look at this. If he goes here, he still will take while this one's advancing. The king is trying to run away. Look at this. And basically, if you continue, this game is obviously totally advantage for white. It's just a matter of time before any of these pawns would be promoted. Obviously, you have to be careful with the queen. But now you have a very nice structure to get things going. These are all, you can always somehow stop, most likely, because these are together on the same file. So well done, GM Hikaru Nakamura. Back in Berlin, back in Europe. Unbelievable. LA to Berlin in such a short time. You can't keep up with this Twitcher. Yes, he's on Twitch. Kind of million subscribers. So why don't you all subscribe here too? It'd be very interesting. Kind of counterbalance things, you know? Subscribe and like so you can have more content. This is a great game. A very good game. One has to make an NFT out of this game like this, especially in the beginning. Very symmetrical. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Au revoir.